Hello down here, welcome back to Iwaihime part 6. Yeah, did you get into it? Seems like we're back in the hospital, away from that nightmare, whatever. When did I get here? No, it was the other way around. Where had I been all this time? Karakami is still sitting in the wheelchair, her father pushing her along, and I was still standing right in front of them. I've been standing here all this time. Just then, Karakami stood up on her broken leg. Oh yeah, I really don't anymore. Karakami barely ground her teeth and wept. I was bewildered, yet my heart ached at her tears once more. I felt like I was tearing my own heart in two. Just a short while ago, I was telling her how I'd save her. Yet here I was, cruelly denouncing her. And so I just didn't understand what was what anymore. An empty laugh burst out of me just like in that nightmare. I still don't know. What? It took a few seconds before a woman screamed in shock. After all, there is now a gaping hole in my... My empty laugh no longer exited through my mouth. It just leaked rapidly out the new hole in my neck. What the what the what? Toy! She... Karakami tightened her grip on the box cutter in her hand. Ooh, hold on. I'm just gonna put myself down here. It'll be so much easier. There we go. Oh my god. She then looked into my eyes. She had a box cutter? Hell of a start, I guess, to the video. And with that, she spoke no further. Only vivid blood gushed through the new hole, squirming on her own neck. I was rapidly losing consciousness. The world was fading into pitch black darkness. I no longer understood anything. My mind couldn't wrap itself around it. My feelings, hers, what had happened, what was happening. I didn't understand any of it anymore. Sorry, Kiko. I should have never gotten mixed up with her. Lots of dots.
亀沼くん、具合はどうかしら？起き上がれそう？
and I gotta open the curtain to find Kaminuma still sleeping in the infirmary bed. However, he had the covers over his head, so she couldn't see how he was doing.
亀沼くんぐっすりなのかしら
And I got to roll back the covers with an impish smile. Shrill scream echoed throughout the school. What happened to him? What happened to Shao? I woke up in what probably was a hospital bed. My body was sluggish, and there were bandages wrapped around my neck. I tried moving a little, only for my throat to sting. But it seemed I'd survive. I had to find out if I was still in that nightmare. So I got out of bed as I tried to find the angle that least hurt my neck. I opened the curtains slightly and felt a surge of relief in the sight of the lights of town. Good, I wasn't in that maddening nightmare anymore. There was no girl clinging to my leg, no disgusting blobs roaring, no sinister shadows to be seen. This was without a doubt the real world. Wait, the real world? I saw orange flickers in the night outside. Those flickers rose up into the pitch black sky one after another, like fireworks. They were like dragons. I saw dragons painted in flames rising up all over the town. It was an unimaginably beautiful sight straight out of a fairy tale. A dreamlike scenario not of this world. This world was a dream. And it wasn't just me this time. The whole world had been sucked into a nightmare. Blazing dragons turned into tornadoes and spun up into the heavens. Scorching hellfire tore up both the night sky and the veneer of reality that covered the world and burned them all away. The world was burning to ashes. And so would this place before long. Dragons of fire spattered out over the town one after another. I felt I locked eyes with one of those newborn dragons. Forgive me, Kiko. I should have listened to you. Only 9 minutes in. Wait a minute. Wait. There's no way that's the end. There's no way that's the end. I refuse to believe that that's just the end of it. Hold on. I refuse to believe that was the end of it. And it was not the end of it. What? Okay. No, I'm not gonna end it right here. Obviously not. It's only been like 11 minutes. What the hell is this music? Okay. I guess we're gonna continue with this. The chess piece that with the horse's head, that's called a knight, right? But these pieces were huge. Just one of them was the size of a liquor bottle. That piece was pinched between even larger fingers and smashed head on into one of mine. This Alice in Wonderland bullshit. The remainder of the piece shattered about with a thrilling sound. Like, I'm not the only one, right? Who gets Alice in Wonderland vibes from this? Yeah, right. Audience of card soldiers shared. That is exactly Alice in Wonderland. God, it looks like a fat Harry Potter. The Sec King's head alone was as huge as a boulder, so his disgusting laugh was boomingly loud. He wore an outfit befitting the king of the card soldiers, topped with a bowl cut and Coke bottle glasses. What's more, he had pimples all over his face. What the fuck is going on? On the visual and audio discomfort scale, he'd win in a landslide, no questions asked. Atlas?
もう一息なのに駒が足りない。また駒が足りないんだ。
Mr. Rabbit gripped his head helplessly.
しっかりしてよ、ウサギさん。なんかインチキなガチャガチャみたいだよね。さっきからあと一息、あと一息の繰り返しだよ。一体何歩課金すればいいわけさ。ごめんよ、エリス。ごめんよ。あとちょっとで勝てるんだ。勝てるはずなんだよ。
There was a gargantuan chessboard between us and the Sek King. I don't know how he would say that. Sek, I guess? I guess that is how you'd say it. On it were a mix of what appeared to be red and black chess pieces. But this was, in fact, Sek, a game similar to but completely different from chess. Oh. I see. Chess. CHESS. It's not quite backwards, but it's some. Okay. I had no idea what the rules were. You know how knights have a very specific movement pattern in chess? Yeah, that was all out the window in Sek. Such. The whole thing made no sense, like you could move one square if a black cat jumped out, or you could hide behind another piece if a thrush chirped. Even though I was a player, I had no choice but to leave my feet in the hands of this rabbit who knew the rules.
惜しいですね。大きな駒を失っちゃったですね。
ウサギさん、今失った駒って結構痛いわけ？一気にこれで攻め込んでかき回すつもりだったんだよ。本当だよ。
これでまた攻め手がなくなっちゃったわけですよ。あと一息でこのボクチン追い詰められたかもしれないのにね。
He just creeps me out.
悔しいよ。今の駒がなくなっちゃった。そんな大事な大駒をぼんやりしてるから取られちゃうんだよ。
まだまだそちらにも置ける駒はあるでちゅよ。ゲームが面白くなるのはこれからなのでちゅ。
参ったな、もう。仕方ないな。もうほんとこれっきりだからね。エリス、ありがとう。助かるよ。
I have no words for this. Some parts of Sek resemble Chogi. Much like that game, you could add new pieces to the board. The card holders cheered with joy when I learned I decided to add new pieces.
まあ問題は新しい駒を作るのがちょいと面倒なだけなんだけどね。でもエリスは強いから助かるよ。僕にもっと勇気があったら。まあまあいいっていいって。そこはこのエリス姫に任せといて。
And Charlie with Tool showed up and the audience cheered again. Boy, they sure don't pull any punches, huh? The card soldier's Charlie contained an assortment of sickening torture tools, whose purpose I didn't want to imagine. Now those torture tools, of course.
今度はどんな駒が追加されちゃうですか？あんまり強い駒だと困っちゃうでちゅ。
ああ、うさぎさん、マジで次はチェックメイトをお願いね。そのつもりだよ。大駒を揃えて一気にチェックメイトしてやるんだ。大駒を揃えてって今度はどんな駒がどのくらいいるわけ？頼みにくいんだけど。どーんと来なさいな。ミノベ県王国はこのエリス姫様が守るんだからね。
Arcania Minobe Kingdom. Okay.
頼もしいお姫様でちゅよ。ますます好きになったでちゅ。きっとこの国を手に入れてボクチンの新しい家族に迎えてあげるでちゅ。
I don't like his voice.
マジでパス。
I really don't like his voice. Ugh.
うさぎさん、 マジで強い駒よろしくさ。それで何の駒がいるんだって？
The rabbit fidgeted apologetically.
左手の小指と左手の手首、あと右手の指を4本ももらえればきっと。
Excuse me?
本当にそれだけ？それだけで駒が足りるの？できればあと左目の駒も欲しいんだよ。あれがあればきっと
What?
もう一コマサービスしちゃうからさ。今度こそ絶対決めてよ。ありがとうエリス。
What
じゃ
the
あ上の前歯を3本と奥歯を2本でもう一つコマを。へいへい、好きにしてちょうだいな。ありがとうエリス。これで勝てるよ。今度こそ絶対に勝てる。
これは困ったですよ。とんでもない大駒がたくさん来るのですよ。これじゃ僕ちん負
I have
け
no
そうです。
words.
あんたのニキビ面を二度と見なくて済むなら、乙女の指だの腕だの歯だのちょろいもんよ。
そこまで嫌われてるなんて僕ちん心狂っちいでちゅ。
ごめんねエリス、本当にごめんね。なるべく痛くないようにやるからね。
Like they're literally taking her eyes and fingers and teeth. And with that apology, Mr. Rabbit picked up a tortured tool similar to a giant pair of nail clippers and approached me. The animated audience suddenly fell silent and gulped as they watched. When I thought about it, the main attraction of this game, no, the show, was less the match itself and more the adding of new pieces. After all, even the Such King was watching me with far more excitement than when he took any of the pieces out on the board. Wasn't he intending to make me part of his family? At this rate, my whole body would become sec pieces before that ever happened, wouldn't it?
じゃあ左手の小指から行くからね。ごめんねエリス。ごめんね。
Oh my god.
謝んなくていいから。次こそ絶対にチェックメイトをよろしく。
Mr. Rabbit placed the finger clippers made for the sole purpose of cleaving off a left pinky above my left hand. Why was such a large audience so quiet? Maybe it were easier to distract myself if they were cheering like they were before.
変にビクビクしないで、バチーンと一発でお願いね。さっきみたいに下手に気を使われる方がかえって痛いんだからさ。ごめん、今度はもっと痛くないようにする。
Mr. I put the tip of the razor-sharp blade against the last finger I had on my left hand. Last finger, so it's not your last. So it wasn't the first. Yes, that's right. I already given up the others in exchange for more pieces.
どうせ手首も切るんでしょ。先にそっちからやってくれればいいのに。ルールだからね、仕方ないんだ。じゃあ行くよ。
Can he shut up? I'd be damned if I gave that pimple-faced bastard in the audience anything to rejoice over. Don't acknowledge it, don't acknowledge it.
せーの。そういうの言わないでいいから。無言でザクッと来てちょうだい。
Don't acknowledge it, don't acknowledge it. I felt like there was a red-hot iron searing the spot where my pinky used to be, now swollen 100-fold. The swelling ached in sync with the rapid beating of my heart. But no, I couldn't acknowledge it. I couldn't bear it if I did. I simply stared off into space as I bit my upper lip, my eyes widening. And then I concentrated solely on the thought that I was nothing more than a statue. I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to get it over with. It was taking all I had to wear a mask of composure. It was suffocating. Just then, I locked eyes with the Second King. He, along with the audience of card soldiers, stared at me with rapt attention. Their faces were lit up with anticipation. Screw you all. Like hell, I'd play to your expectations. Like hell. Oh, like my brain had been stabbed with a sharpened ice pick. And immediately after the sensation and everything from my left wrist up had become a giant scorching heat, which beat violently. I couldn't acknowledge it. I couldn't accept that sensation. I was a statue. I fought back, everything building in my throat. If I released it, that meant I would have acknowledged it. But despite all my efforts, I whimpered anyway. I put on the bravest face I could muster, yet couldn't hide the beads of cold sweat seeping down my face. And so I couldn't acknowledge it. I would never give the damned audience what they wanted. Of course she's not okay. Gave the rabbit a twisted smile to show I was fine. Even as sweat poured down my forehead. I couldn't accept it. It hurt. I couldn't acknowledge it. Just then, there was a gust of air out of nowhere, carrying a leaf. The leaf caressed my left hand. Oh, and I felt my desperate resistance shattered to pieces. Simply screaming. I unleashed a scream of agony from deep within. It was too late. Now that I had acknowledged it, it was all too late. A gushing sensation I'd been ignoring from the stump that used to be my left hand assaulted me. It felt like a fire hose. It reached my brain, and with that I lost the willpower to hold back my screams. The audience immediately burst into a tumultuous uproar of laughter. That sight spun around like a whirlpool, and it swallowed me up. But I wouldn't let it take my sanity. Just then I felt cold metal pressing against my right hand. Mr. Rabbit had just finished setting up a horrific metallic device that would rip off my fingers. National security. More screaming. Car soldier audience surged in a way of ecstasy and excitement. Several players was also rolling around with laughter, but Mr. Rabbit's display of consideration was just as annoying to me. Oh, the eye. The teeth I feel like would be fine, but the eye. What does that matter? It's all the same. Why don't you take my place for a change, huh?
さあ次は目でちか前歯でちか奥歯でちかさあさあ皆さんはどっちがいいですか左目から目
Of course, figures.
前歯奥歯もギリギリ引き抜いて
Okay, they're all just
どっちからにするの？エリスが決めてくれなきゃわかんないよ。
I couldn't acknowledge the pain. I wouldn't be these bastards. I wouldn't be these bastards' entertainment.
じゃあ目からお願いしちゃうかな。そりゃあんたの汚いニキビ面半分見なくて済むからね。
勇敢なお姫様でちゅよ。
わかったよエリス。痛くないように一瞬で済ませるからね。
Even if it would only take a second to crush it, the pain would still linger for a long, long time. But I couldn't let that fear show I was strong. I had to smile, even in times like these. Mr. Rabbit took a birdcage-shaped torture tool and put it on my head, which reminded me of the Dead Man Wonderland scene where they took, I forgot his name, but the guy's eye out. Oh, this is different though. There's now a sharp, pointy drill literally staring me in the eye. They could drill the eye. Mr. Rabbit shut the hinges tight so I couldn't take it off.
じゃあ今度は行くよって言わないからね。言わないからね。言わないからね。
We spun a handle attached to the cage. Just then, the drill approached my eye with a grinding noise. I closed my eyes, and the drill hit my eyelid. The drill shrieked as it pierced right through it. However, my smile never broke. I had to smile or I'd lose, that was my belief. But just then, all that suddenly receded. I heard someone calling me. Who was it? Whoever it was, I couldn't tell. That their calls had ended this nightmare. This was the first time that ever happened.
大丈夫ですか?
Wait, what? Didn't he? What? What? There was a boy in front of me. He wasn't in my class. This complete stranger had been the one calling out to me.
オイラのこと？
ひどく具合が悪そうに見えたので大丈夫かなって。
I didn't know him, but the purity in his eyes conveyed his sincerity. If he hadn't said anything, I'd probably be continuing to suffer in my nightmare. Still, I felt like today's dream had been particularly horrible. I couldn't remember it well, but it had definitely been an awful one.
誰だか知んないけどありがとう。オイラってちょっぴり悪夢症でさ。
悪夢症?
Nightmare
オイラ
itis.
頭おかしいからさ。よく悪い白チュームにうなされちゃうんだよね。お昼食べてうとうとしてたらまたたちの悪い夢にうなされてたみたい。
I'm shaking from all of this. Oh my god.
悪い夢をしつこく見るなら何かの病気のサインかもしれないよ。保健室で
What disease
先
causes
生に相
nightmares?
談した方がいいんじゃないかな。
What kind of disease will cause the nightmares?
タマユは間に合ってるよ。大丈夫大丈夫。
割と元気そうだぜ。よかったよかった。
Nazi, I see her too.
みたいだね。でも一度先生に相談してみてね。夢は心や体調のサインであることも多いから。
あんがと。でもまあオイラのは多分そういうのじゃないから。不思議の国のアリスならぬ悪夢の国のエリスだからね。とに かくありがとう。あんたも用があって通りかかったんでしょ。昼休みは短いよ。さあさあ行って行って。
じゃあ行くよ、夏くん。
こんなのよ、本当にただのかすり傷なんだぜ。傷なんざ舐めときゃ治るってのが男ってもんだぜ。
ダメだよ、ばい菌が入って化膿したら大変なんだから。
高校男児がすり傷程度で保健室なんて恥ずかしいんだよ。
ダメだよ、ちゃんと消毒薬を塗ってもらおうね。
やだー、俺あのしみるやつ大嫌いなんだ。
Yeah, I was right. That's just gonna get me through this whole game.
ダメだよ。さあ保健室へ行こう。
いていててててて、そんなバカ力で掴むな、引っ張るな。
失礼します。先生、傷の消毒をお願いします。お昼寝中お邪魔をしてすみませんでした。
She was taking a nap.
そんな寝てないわよ。
Oh yeah, you probably don't. You're
ちょっ
totally
と
right.
午後の陽気にうつらうつらとしちゃってただけなんだから。
へっへっへ、その言い訳じゃ確実に廊下に立たされますぜ。というか先週来た時も確か居眠りしてませんでしたっけ。
そんな教頭先生に告げ口するのは許してよね。じゃないと私教頭先生に怒られる、査定が最低、学校クビ、路頭に迷うし。
Man, she really cleaned that out.
お願いよ、教頭先生には黙っててくれるなら、先生いけない個人授業とか特別にしてあげようかな。
I mean, I mean, this would probably be one of their dreams.
そしてその光景を隠し撮り、脅迫、口止め料たんまり、左打ちはルーハウハ、素敵な生物との恋も。
Man, she really likes planning things out, don't she?
鈴原先生にいきなり腹パンかよ。さすがグレートな男だぜ。
Suzumu punched her in the stomach. What?
まだ寝ぼけてるみたいだったから着付けにいいかなと思って。
ナイスパンチよ。ありがとう。すっきりしたわ。それで保健室にご用は何かしら。また彼が何かいたずらをしてすりむきでもしたの。
こんなの男の勲章だぜ。
そうだね、痛みに耐えられる夏くんは男の鏡だと思うな。
Suzumu's, they're so supportive of each other.
なら痛いしみる消毒薬も頑張れるよね。
Oh yeah.
あるわよ。よーく効く痛い消毒薬が。
やめろ、離せ鈴原。
I like these refreshing moments between the crazy moments. Just watch.
はい、これでよし。
よかったね。これで怪我もきれいに治ると思うよ。それ以上に頑張って耐えた夏くんがかっこいいと思ったよ。
まあな、男熱田夏也消毒薬程度でヒーヒー言うようなやわじゃねえからな。
厚田くんは元気盛りで怪我が絶えないわね。それはそうと、あなた鈴原鈴くんだっけ。
I'm trying to realize why I'm getting Higurashi vibes from this. I know it's creator Higurashi made it, but I'm just saying I'm getting now I'm getting more Higurashi vibes from it.
あなたも面倒見のいい友達ね。暑いのと涼しいのであなたたちちょうどいいコンビかも。
や よっしゃー、グレートススハラと俺がついにコンビと認められたぜ。
So ironically, that's literally like in fairy tale. Natsuya, fire, and then ice, gray. Like that's. I don't know if it was they meant to do that or not, but that's hilarious.
よく言ってるけど、グレートススハラって何？
お前が超ウルトラスーパーレアにグレートな男だからよ。
プロレスラーみたいな名前だな。
ねえ、グレートススハラくんとグレートアツタくん。
俺はまだ全然グレートな男じゃないんです。しかしいつかはそう言われてみて。
じゃあグレートススハラくんとノーマルアツタくん。
ノーマルはさすがに。
じゃあグレートススハラくんとアブノーマルアツタくんね。
それは絶対に嫌じゃ。
ナツくんはどんなあだ名でもかっこいいと思うよ。
ところであなたたち、部活動は何かやってる？
いえ、何も。
ススハラは空手やってたんだろ。空手部とか入ればきっとグレートな伝説を築いちまう気がするぜ。
空手をやってるの？結構立派な拳をしてるとは思ってたけど。
ちょっと違うんですけど、まあ家で自主練をしてます。
それはとても忙しい？
毎日夕方は欠かさずに。
さすがだぜ。やはりそのグレートな力は日々の鍛錬から生み出されていたんだな。
でもちょっとくらいは時間が取れない？
何かの部活の勧誘ですか？
察しがいいわね。私が顧問をしているとある部にぜひ参加してみない？決して怪しい部活じゃないのよ。
Nothing sketchy.
ちゃんと学校公認だし、部活の都合の合う時だけ参加してくれてもいいの。休日の活動もあるけれど、たまにだけよ。
休日がなくなるのは嫌だな。
たまによ。せいぜい月に一度くらいかしらね。
That's a
何の
month.
部活ですか？
I love it. Oh, this is club.
よくぞ聞いてくれました。その名もズバリシャチホコ部。
LCSC.
シャチ
ここ？
鈴間あつたくんまで。
キコちゃんもシャチホコ部だったんだね。知らなかったよ。
What is
もったいぶらず
LCSC?
教えてくださいよ先生。
Yeah, please
何なんすかシャ
elaborate.
チホコ部って。すんげえグレートな響きを感じるっすよ。
正式名称は社会地域奉仕貢献部っていうの。
Local
略して
Community
シャ
Service
チホ
Club.
コ部ってわけね。
社会地域
奉仕貢献部？
シャチホコ部
Community
は
Service.
地元での奉仕活動などを
It's
主
Community
催した部
Service
活
Club.
なの。
It's hilarious.
清掃活動とか募金活動とか気持ちもハッピーになってくるんだよ。まあ
Oh, this. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Forgot this is the new character.
先日会いましたよね。
あったあった。まああの時は声をかけてくれてありがとね。
んです先生、まさか部員は俺たち込みで4人だけっすか？
あと2人いるわよ。もちろんその2人も素敵な美少女なんだから。
今にも潰れそうなくらいの少人数じゃないっすか。
そもそもシャチホコ部なんて部活の部員募集見たことがないな。
シャチホコ部は雛形先生のお眼鏡にかなった人しか入れないそうだから。
Interesting.
そう、私のスカウトがないと入れないエリートクラブなんだから。まあタマユンのお気に入りだけを集めたわがまま部みたいなもんだよね。
タマユン？
you?
雛形先生のフルネームが雛形まゆだから。
My you him. Okay.
雛形まゆでたまゆ。なんだか面白いあだ名だね。
紹介するね。シャチホコ部の部長の見延かなえ先輩。
Okay.
おっす、おいら見延。部長とか呼ばないでね。なんかめんどくさ
So
い気持ち
she's
にな
the
るから。
president of the club.
先輩だったのか。ちっちゃいから後輩かと思ってたぜ。
おいらは発育不良児だからさ、背とかちっとも伸びないのよ。
Underdevelopment.
先輩面するつもりなんか全然ないから、君たちも気楽にやってちょ
はい、見延先輩。
で、俺たち入部するってまだ決めたわけじゃないっすよ。
シャチホコ部で奉仕活動とかしてたら進学や就職の時に面接で有利になると思うわよ。それだけじゃない、地域への貢献は徳を積むことにもなるの。豊かな人間性や魂を育み、心も清らかになってとても素敵なんだから。
自分はいいことしてるんだっていう気持ち、すっごくいいよね。ハートもハッピーハッピーになって、エブリバディスマイルスマイルになるよ。
キコちゃんはシャチホコ部が気に入ってるみたいだね。
まあ雛形先生と見延先輩の雰囲気がアットホームな感じで、そこが好きなの。
With so few of them, they were less of a club and more of a group of friends, no, a family. The cozy atmosphere probably suited Kiko and Minobe well.
体験入部からで全然 OK なのよ。今度の日曜日の奉仕活動にもよかったら参加してみない？良い行いをすれと感じられるすがすがしい気持ち、体験してみる価値はあると思うけどな。
俺、日曜は熱いライバルたちとのデュエルがあるんすけど。
僕は大丈夫なんで参加してみたいです。
ススハラ参加するのかよ。
うん。親善武術を奉納する者は常日頃から良い行いを心がけなければいけないって言われてきたから。自主練では技を磨くことしかできないけど、シャチホコ部でなら心を磨くことができそうな気がするんだ。
素晴らしいわ。そうそう、心を磨き徳を積むなら社会地域奉仕貢献部を除いて他にはないわ。
すすむくんだっけ？すずむも物好きだね。
先輩だってこの部が気に入ってるから在籍してるんじゃないですか？
まあおいらは学校の奉仕活動の空気が合わないのも大きいけどね。
At Junior High, volunteer work was mandatory for credits. More specifically, you had to participate in 10 volunteer activities that the school would arrange each year. Since so many participated, it didn't feel different from any other class. In no way must be referred to the coziness of the LCSC to that rigid atmosphere. This club was censored around volunteer activities, so by joining it, you were exempted from the school's own. There were several clubs that gave exemptions, but they were all sports clubs aiming for tournaments. It meant that LCSC was the only non-sports club with that exemption.
そう言われりゃ確かに悪くねえかもしれねえな。学校の奉仕活動はまるで捕虜収容所の強制労働みたいな気分になるからな。
ひどい例えだな。
そうそう、おっかない先生に見張られながらの強制労働。おいらもあの雰囲気大嫌いだよ。でもそんな先輩もシャチホコ部でなら楽しく奉仕活動ができるわけ。
面倒くさがり屋のミノベさんが幽霊部員にならずにこうして顔を出してくれるんだもの。先生嬉しいわ。シャチホコ部を気に入ってくれて本当に嬉しい。
縁ってあるかもしれないね。あの日偶然に声をかけた人がシャチホコ部の先輩だったんだから
運命の出会いだったりしてね。でもオイラ、運命の人はアラブの石油王ってもう決めてるから、あしからず。
Interesting.
見延先輩って面白い人でしょ。いつも面白い話をしてくれるんだよ。オイラは面白いつもりで言ってるんじゃないんだけどな。チェ。
まああくまでも体験入部だしな。
そうそう、グレートススハラ君は体験してみたいって言ってるんだもの。親友のアツタ君もこれは一緒に参加しないわけにはいかないでしょ。グレートススハラと奉仕活動、磨かれる魂、育まれる絆、やがて君はグレートアツタに生まれ変わる。不女子狂乱で君はモテモテ。
Now she's planning his life.
モテモテ
And he bought it.
違うぜ。俺は己を磨くための修行にちょうどいいと思っただけだぜ。
今度の日曜日の活動一緒に行ってみようよ。僕も夏くんが一緒ならきっと楽しいだろうって思うよ。
仕方ねえ。奉仕活動とやらを通してススハラのグレートな側面を観察して修行させてもらうぜ。
決まりね。じゃあこれから日曜日の活動について説明するわよ。
スズムが同じ部活に入ってくれるなんて、すっごい小さなだけどハッピーハッピー。
僕もキコちゃんが一緒なら嬉しいよ。よろしくね。
ところであと2人の美少女ってのは。あ、いや今日来てない部員ってのはどんなやつかなーって思っただけさ。
He let that slip. Oops.
それは僕も気になるな。日曜日に来るなら挨拶できるかな。
さあどうかな。布川さんは忙しい人だし、黒髪さんは気まぐれな人だし。
Kurakami. Really?
黒髪さん？
そう、
Ooh, music
う
cut.
ちのクラスの。
Totally Kurakami. A serious girl who was completely ignored by the entire school. She never spoke to anyone, nor would she even look them in the eye. Today she'd gone to class capriciously, only to leave on a whim and never come back, just like always. Even if the teachers told us they didn't say anything. By this point, her classmates had nothing but bad rumors to spread about her. I admit I was curious about her once or twice, but then Kiko warned me not to get close to her. Kurakami wanted to make friends, but was being ignored by the others, and I just want to help her. Uh-oh, here we go again. And she loved her solitude, and no one wanted to talk to her. In that case, neither of us had any reason to get mixed up with one another. However, whenever I heard her name, I felt a twinge of pain in my heart for some reason. Oh, God. But just like the girl I talked to yesterday happened to be the president of the LCSC, fate seemed to work in mysterious ways. Kurakami had happened to be in the LCSC as well. Surely doesn't Destiny have played a hand in that? But she wasn't here today. Maybe that was God's way of saying we weren't ready to meet yet? If there were some sort of fate binding Kurakami and I, then we'd probably meet eventually. Yeah, you guys technically did. And then you died in the world end.
黒髪さんのこと気になるの？
うん。なぜか一目見た時から気になって。
男子はああいう黒髪ロン毛のストレートが本当に大好きだよね。スズムも好きなら私も髪型変えちゃおうかな。
僕はキコちゃんの髪型大好きだよ。
ありがとう。キュー、スズムはなかなかの女殺しだね。こりゃとんでもない大型新人の登場だよ。
では日曜日は8時半に集合ね。遅れないでよ。
Gonna end the video there. And hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try and do longer videos if I can, like this one and the previous one, so I can get through more, because I've learned that there's probably more hours than I originally thought in the game. So the length of the game is longer than I originally thought. So subscribe, hit that bell to be notified of the new videos, and share the video out. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. See ya.